South Africa is hosting the 2025 Special Olympics African Regional Leadership Conference, representing a significant milestone to the continent. How does hosting this gathering delegates from 36 African nations align with your ministry's vision for inclusion of persons with intellectual disabilities in sports? And what specific impact do you hope to have on changing societal perceptions and policies in South Africa?
First is to really appreciate the fact that Special Olympics Africa have selected South Africa to host this regional leadership conference. And we have welcomed the various chairpersons and the directors of Special Olympics of their own countries to come here and join into a week-long program on leadership and how to really enhance the work. So we are delighted to be the host country for that. Secondly, I think South Africa has always been ready to take up challenge of advancing disability rights agenda, not only just as a country but globally. We are part of the UN declaration that advances the rights of persons with disability, and we are signatories to it, and that's why we are counted at international level. But there's also protocols at regional levels, and at AU level, even at SADC and at country level, which we want to also advance on. But what is important for us and why this conference is significantly important? First, we do have Special Olympics South Africa. Just weeks ago, we really did well our own Olympics who participated at the Winter Special Olympic Games that took place in Italy. They came back, they thrived, and they came back with medals, and they represented the country. And why this matters for us: physical activity, physical education is key for us, and the rights of persons with disability, particularly with intellectual disability, remains a priority for our own strategy. It's part of the program of action for government. This has been incorporated in our midterm development plan, and that has been signed off by President Cyril Ramaphosa. You would actually even appreciate the fact that our own president, head of state, His Excellency, has spoken eloquently within the State of Nation address about the importance of prioritizing persons with disability, not just into beneficiary programs, but also into equitable opportunities for persons with disability, whether in education, in access to health, but also in terms of job opportunities, including what we have advanced as our Public Procurement Act, that 6% of businesses led by persons with disability must actually get their public spend as part of the opportunities we create. So this gathering and its impact for us advances our own South African chapter of Special Olympics, but our collaboration as a ministry responsible for persons with disability, but how we actually can influence all other departments, including the Department of Sports, Art and Culture, that is responsible to ensure that the social cohesion, the sporting clothing, or as a sector itself is prioritized. So this for us is a very momentous initiative for us.
The conference focuses on critical themes, including unified sports and inclusive leadership. As we witness this continental collaboration, what concrete initiatives is your ministry planning to implement following the conference that will create sustainable sporting opportunities for persons with intellectual disabilities? And how might South Africa's approach serve as a model for other African nations seeking to advance inclusive sports?
Indeed, the first is protection is in the law. Our own policies that we have put forward does speak to the rights of persons with disability. Now, South Africans are aware of the white paper on the rights of persons with disability. But what we have put forward now is a legislation framework to take this white paper forward. That's a very key fundamental point around the assistive devices, reasonable accommodation, and many other aspects that speaks to the rights of persons with disabilities. Secondly, we are champions of diversity and inclusion, that every department must actually implement the minimum standard, and all other public service must be sensitized, must be trained. We've developed manuals to train public servants, not only just on physical or physical disabilities that is known, even the non-physical one, including intellectual, neurological, including epilepsy for that matter. So the interventions we do are tailor-made to fit the individual's needs. And not only that, we also extend to look at the care and support. We are mindful of the burden of care. We are also mindful of the unpaid labor that goes with the care and support. So we have integrated all of these things as part of our own program. The last part I want to mention, which is quite key, you would understand that as a department, we've got the Disability Missionary Forum that meets quarterly with various stakeholders. We meet on a quarterly basis to speak about progress, what is being implemented in government, what is being implemented in the private sector, but also what is implemented at local level where implementation matters. And those for us are quite key to monitor, to hold us accountable, but also to evaluate ourselves in terms of the programs that we advance. But last point that I want to really mention, the Special Olympics Leadership Conference that is taking place. It's a regional one. 37 countries to be specific actually, are here. And they are learning from South Africa. Like us, we are learning from other African countries. Part of this is to share best practice, knowledge, data, and so forth, but also how other countries have made it work, how we are making it work. And part of it is the MOU discussion that we have currently with Special Olympics South Africa. But that MOU will be a catalyst of change. You understand that what happens also in South Africa does play as a catalyst role in terms of influencing SADC and the rest of Africa. Our wish and our hope is to see any child, any young person, any adult with disability who are in the sports space being respected, being treated equally, being compensated equally, and being supported equally. The dignity of persons matters. The inclusion matters, and the diversity matters. But most of it is that we can celebrate these lives, including the lives of persons with intellectual disability, where we can see and appreciate their craft, their art, their sports, their dedication, not just as a game, but the impact to their lives.